Casualty incident and the Hert team. So a mass casualty incident, an MCI, is an event in which the number of patients overwhelms the available resources in the local hospital and emergency system. This event requires immediate activation of the hospital emergency response team, the Hert team. The Hert's role is simple but critical. Protect the house, the hospital. Maintain operations and maximize survival by rapidly triaging and decontaminating patients. This in perspective, we are going to talk about Levi's Stadium. This holds 70,000 people. During events like the World Cup, the Super Bowl, the surrounding area may draw crowds exceeding 100,000. If a disaster occurs in a crowd that size, the strain on the hospital will be immense. We've seen a smaller scale example, such as the Moss Landing electrical fire, where about 1,500 people were directly affected and over 3,700 sought care. And that single incident taxed every hospital in the region. This is why the Hert team exists and why training and preparation are so vital. The role of the Hert team. The Hert team has 400 plus trained members across county hospitals. Their primary mission is to protect the house. This means setting up tents outside, conducting rapid triage, and carrying out decontamination when necessary before patients enter the emergency department. By doing this, the team prevents ER itself from becoming overwhelmed or contaminated. For example, if a patient arrives with a possible chemical exposure, the staff must first ask two very important questions. 1, what was the substance or exposure? Were they deconned? 2, are other people involved? If the incident involves hazardous substance requiring a protective bunny suit, only trained staff should enter the decon area. Safety always comes first. Untrained staff must not attempt to put on the suit or perform decon, no matter how urgent the situation appears. Additionally, EMS should never bring in patients that are potentially contaminated through the ER door. This is going to compromise the ER, which is going to shut down. Internal decontamination is going to have to come in. This is bad. Don't let it happen. Speaking on triage categories. So during an MCI, the Hert team uses color-coded triage tags to quickly sort patients by urgency. Green is minor. You can hear me, you can talk, go over to the green tent. Yellow, patient may say, I can hear you, but I can't move right now, my leg. Okay, they're immediate, they're going to be in the yellow category. Red is immediate. Sorry, they're delayed. The yellow is delayed. Red is immediate. This is the critically injured and requiring immediate life-saving interventions such as needle decompression, pneumothorax. These interventions are going to be sent straight through the emergency department. They're going to have a tag on them. This is their patient chart. Black is expectant. These patients are patients requiring CPR, things that we cannot use resources on at the moment. The guided principle is the greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. Resources must be preserved for patients most likely to survive. So talking about communication and technology. Communication during disasters is everything in the emergency department. We have several backup systems. We have a red phone. Even if all systems fail, this is a secure line. We can receive government calls. A typical alert might sound like there is a bombing at the Levi's Stadium, unknown number of injuries, Hert team is activated. County issued cell phone, keep at the charge station, make sure it's charged. It is there right now. We are able to communicate when public networks go down. There's a messaging system that's sent out to all Hert team members. That when they get that, they can respond and then appropriately come into the location. There's walkie-talkies. You can turn it on to channel 1. And this can be a communication between the Hert team outside lead, the Hert team lead inside, and then to the hospital command center as well. Inside the ER, the charge nurse remains in command. While a designated Hert lead coordinates operations, this leader goes to the BCA computer to print out a current list of patients in the ER. Then they update the charge based on the patients that are in the emergency department. Let's say there's 35 patients in the emergency department, lots of patients in the lobby, 3 admits. We are going to collaborate with the lead physician to determine which patients can be discharged right away and which patients will need to go upstairs. The charge nurse then will effectively communicate this to the hospital command center, which will give a number of beds allocated to these patients to be sent upstairs. This ensures ambulatory patients can be discharged, admitted patients can be moved up quickly, creating space for this incoming surge. If electronic system is down, staff must use a whiteboard to manage and track patients. So I will say, we do have an Epic thing built in for a disaster, but I think it's best to just pull out the whiteboard and go ahead and chart on that, because in disaster situations, nothing ever goes as planned. Decontamination is a CBRNE event. Not all MCIs are the same. In some cases, a CBRNE chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear incidents. Decon becomes the priority. Imagine receiving a red-tagged patient who has already been given 3 duodotes in the field and a needle decompression for a pneumothorax, but now presents with agonal respirations and a thready pulse. In this situation, despite the heroic efforts, the patient would likely be re-triaged, black expectant. This and resources are going to be redirected to another patient that will likely survive. Again, this is harsh reality of disaster medicine, maximizing survival for the greatest number of people. So supplies and roles. During an MCI, resources, needs like additional tourniquets, oxygen, decon equipment must follow the chain of command. Frontline staff, Hert lead, charge nurse, incident command center. So patients are being triaged through the Hert team. They're coming into the department. The Hert lead in the department is making it up, putting it on the whiteboard. The nurse that's taking care of them in the emergency department is using their tag as their chart. And then the charge nurse is being notified of all of the patients that are coming in. It's being going on the whiteboard. And if you need more resources, it needs to be established to the Hert lead. You need to let them know, who can let the charge nurse know, who can let the command center know. That needs to be the chain of command. No one acts independently. This structure ensures that resources are distributed fairly, effectively, preventing chaos. We want to prevent chaos. So when the Hert team's activated, only one entrance to the hospital remains open. This can feel restrictive, but it is necessary to control contamination flow. Staff must remember the Hert exists to protect the hospital while delivering care to the community. So real-world preparedness. Preparation isn't just about having the equipment. It's about practice and familiarity. The new decon table in the ER is awesome. But I just want to preference by saying that if you do use it, make sure, one, if you have to garb up into anything, that you are trained to do so. And number two, you're being very careful with it. And the decon room always stays empty in case we need it. We can always be prepared for a disaster situation by looking over things and having ideas set before it happens. So this means that safely stocking up the whole department, 2 suctions, 2 oxygen ports in every room. It's simple, but a critical part of readiness. The bottom line is mass casualty incidents will happen, whether it's a stadium event, a local fire, a CBRNE threat. Hospitals must be ready to respond. The Hert team is our frontline defense in protecting the hospital, decontaminating and triaging patients, and keeping the ER operational. When the call comes through, whether on the red phone, county, cell phone, everyone has a role. Stay calm, follow the chain of command, use the resources and protocols in place, and remember, we are here to do the greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. Thank you.